this will be interesting to see if anybody actually shows up for this. But if anyone does actually show up and does end up watching, then, you know, I want to say thanks to you for to start off with. Kind of first live video, or first live stream. So I'm not expecting too much from it, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. But yeah, thanks to anyone that does actually join the live and watch. Yeah. Right, just to let you know how this is actually going to work. So, hey Mark, how's it going, man? So just to say how this is actually going to work, so I've got 3 cameras right now. So I've got this one, hi, and then I've also got, so if you actually have anything you want me to see, or you want my opinion on, or anything like that, you can send it in, send it into the chat, put it into the chat, I'll take a look at it, I can put it up on the screen, and we'll take a look at it together, see what we both think. I want to know what everyone thinks of pretty much, I want to know what opinions, man. And then I've also set up my iPad, so if anyone actually wants to see, I suppose, a demonstration of anything that you've seen in one of my videos before, I think it'll be easier if I just, you know, show you how it's done, exactly what I mean, or if you have any other questions about something that you've seen, then yeah, I can kind of elaborate a bit more on that subject. But yeah, I think that's pretty much how it's all gonna work. And hopefully the first live stream, the wheels don't start falling off about halfway through and we start having technical issues. So but again, like I've said, first one, so you can't blame me if anything does go wrong. Right. So I'm also quite interested to see how many people from different kind of areas actually watch this live stream, just purely for the fact that, like, you know, when I've had a look at, I suppose, the channel and things like that, it's kind of I've noticed that the places where people are actually coming from is insane. You end up with, like, you know, people from places that I haven't even heard of watching my videos, which is great. Like I said, I suppose I weren't expecting that to begin with. I was when I first started the channel, I was more just expecting, like the odd person from, the immediate area, or people that have tattooed or something like that. But it seems to have gone a bit further than that. And I've ended up making, I suppose, like, a lot of friends and a lot of people who, you know, I message on a bit of a daily basis, because of this channel, which I think is absolutely brilliant. I think, so one thing I do want to address as well is the fact that, like, people, people, I suppose, the past year where I've been, or, you know, things of that nature, because it has been about a year since my last upload until the other day. I suppose that had more to do with views. and it kind of went a bit. So the lettering video started, and it ended up that went great. That kind of blew up. Ended up, I think we're at something like 150,000 views on that one. The next one kind of took a bit of a compared to that one. The next video kind of took a bit of a nosedive. And then I think the next one after that done the same thing, and I think that mixed with everything else that was going on as well, like, you know, expecting a baby, things like that, all this kind of stuff. It was kind of I suppose it kind of put a dampener on it, and I didn't think the channel was really going to go anywhere. So yeah, that's all it was. It was more of a mental thing for me. And I think because I thought that the channel wasn't really going anywhere, I thought I didn't really see much of a point in carrying on. But then once I actually stopped creating content and stuff like that, I think, like, you know, there was a lot of messages coming in from some of the viewers and things like that, some of the comments. That was still, the videos were still getting quite a lot of views, man. And there was comments going on those videos that they were full of support, and, you know, messages saying about, you know, when are you uploading next and stuff like that. So that was absolutely brilliant. I wasn't expecting that at all, and it kind of showed me that, you know, people really did actually want to see more footage and more, you know, more videos and more tutorials, things like that. So that was absolutely brilliant to see, because it kind of, you know, showed me that I should have really carried on where I left off. But, you know, I mean, I'm back now. I'm going to start making more content, and you know, in terms of for the future of the channel, I'm hoping if this actually goes well. Hey, Christine. So I'm hoping if this actually goes well, then what I can do is I can do a live stream every 2 weeks, and then the week in between I'm going to upload a new video, and hopefully that balances everything out. Hopefully a lot more, you know, a lot more regular footage and a lot more regular filming and a lot more regular uploads to YouTube, and, you know, hopefully we'll kind of get this channel back on track a bit. And yeah, I'm hoping I can make it so that, you know, we gain a little bit of a community out of this, and, you know, that's the hope anyway. But we'll see how that kind of pans out. Like I said, I want to see how this live goes, because, like I say, first live, well, ever. So I'm hoping, like I said, the wheels don't fall off or anything like that. Hey, Gina, and we'll see. If the wheels fall off, I'll probably never do it again and die of embarrassment. So that's great. But yeah, that's how I think that's how it's going. So I'm very interested in black. Okay, so I actually remember you asking about this with I suppose darker skin tones and things like that. So with stuff like that, yeah, I think a lot of tattoo artists do tend to kind of put across this idea that you've got to, you know, it's never going to show up in your skin, things like that. I mean, it stuff like that, it's not true. I think all it is just, it's just a case of how you I suppose how the tattoo artist goes about it, and if they have had any training before with darker skin tones. I suppose with lighter shades in colour and things like that, you want to kind of, my personal opinion, you can obviously stick like yellows and things like that into the skin, but obviously past a certain point it's not going to really show up, but I think it all depends more than anything. I think a lot of tattoo artists kind of, are a bit of a slave to this lie that you can't tattoo darker skin or darker skin tones or anything like that. All you got to do is, you just got to work around that. You get the same job done. It just depends. Completely depends. What tattoos are a no for? What tattoos are a no for you? Or a no for you? I suppose for me that a no kind of tattoo. I guess anything that I suppose. I mean, obviously anything that's a bit racist or a bit on the a bit on the why would you get that kind of side of things. I suppose I'm not one of these artists that'll kind of go and do a camel on someone's toe or some stuff like that. It doesn't. I suppose that's more it for me. I think I think you get a lot of tattoo artists who don't really care what they really put on people's skin. But I think when you stop caring about what you put into people's skin and what designs you put on, I think at that point it's time to just hang up your machines. Purely for the fact that it's you're letting people leave with something that kind of represents you. I mean, they're gonna leave, and then the friends are gonna turn around to them and say, where did you get that? And they're gonna say, oh, I got it from this guy or this girl. So your reputation's leaving with that piece at the same time, and I just don't think it's really worth everything I've worked towards for the past 15, 16 years. I don't really think it's worth it to really let somebody ruin my career over me, I don't know, tattooing a hate symbol or something insane on somebody, or a joke across the forehead or something like that. But other than that, I think I'm pretty down to tattoo most things. It just depends on whether I can make it look kind of cool, if that makes sense. I think that's all it boils down to for me more than anything. I don't think that it's that big of a I don't think it's that I think it is, to be fair, I think it's a big problem within the industry. So I think that's it for me. They're kind of no tattoos for me. Oh, did they ever have to stop in the middle of a tattoo session because of the client? Yeah. I was actually tattooing some woman's a woman's back, and she came in. It was she said that it was her wedding day or something like that. About I think it was like a month. She in a month, and she said she wanted something nice to kind of be sit behind where a dress come down, and it was it was like we come up with this like really nice floral kind of thing, some dainty lines and things like that, nice dainty flowers and all this, and it ended up with she as soon as the needle took. Anyway, looking like we're having some technical difficulties. So, there we go. Right. Anyway, by the looks of it, from my end, there was some technical difficulties or something like that. I don't know, but yeah. So, what I was saying, as soon as the needle touched her skin, that was it. Then she kind of jumped up, and she kept on bouncing all over the place, couldn't sit still, and it was horrible to tattoo her. It was absolutely horrible. It actually got to the point where she became very dangerous to tattoo, and it became a point where I genuinely thought I was gonna stab myself with the needle, and I couldn't do it anymore. I had to say to her, like, we're gonna have to end it here because you're an actual liability. I couldn't tattoo her anymore. So yeah, I had to stop a couple of times with that one. Any other time, it's always just been like, somebody's nearly passed out and stuff like that. It's never, other than that, it's never really been a problem. Have you ever got into conflict with a client getting tattooed? Yeah, I suppose it's more. I wouldn't say more conflict. I suppose conflict is a bit of a strong word, but yeah, I suppose I have done. I think for me it was more of a disagreement. I suppose it was more disagreement or something like that. That was more. It wasn't a case of like there was conflict and there was. It was like I say, conflict makes it sound like there was heads being punched off and stuff like that. But no, yeah, I think it's always just been more of a a problem with a disagreement or something like that. Other than that, that's about it. I've never actually had an actual. I suppose I never really had more than an engagement with anything like that. But yeah, no conflicts anyway. Yeah, no conflicts. So I've had some strong disagreements, but that's about it. Hey Evan, how's it going? Yeah, to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting anybody to be in this live. Like I wasn't expecting it to have anybody watch at all. Okay. So my hour at the moment is just purely for the fact that where I'm based, my hourly rate at the moment is around about £50 an hour. I tend to do, like, you know, deals on the day and the half day, things like that. But every once in a while, if I have like a bit of a cancellation or a week where there's been a few cancellations, then what I usually do is I usually offer the days and half days up for next to nothing. But yeah, I usually offer it up for next to nothing. So people tend to get like a bit of a good deal out of me because I'm not really interested in making myself rich like some of these other artists and stuff. So yeah, I don't mind dropping my prices to help people and to get people coming in, and am I doing any tattoo conventions next year? Yeah, I've actually been in talks with some of the other tattoo artists I know, and we've actually been talking about kind of collaborating and joining to all which I think will be absolutely brilliant. I'm looking at doing we've spoken about doing. We've spoken about going back to Blackpool again, and I wanted to kind of do. Well, I kind of wanted to go with a bit of a bigger one. So I was thinking like do something like Manchester or something like that, because I've always liked the idea of doing Manchester. I'm just kind of sorry I never got to do. There was used to be a tattoo convention up in London, and it was London Tattoo Convention. It was held down the Tobacco Docks. And it was absolutely brilliant. It was great. They had artists from all around the world. It was like an international kind of thing. There was some absolutely amazing artists going there. There was some of the people that you really looked up to and respected. And then all of a sudden apparently from what I've heard, the guy who paid for it to happen and the guy who paid for it to go on, apparently what happened with him was he actually died, and then apparently they lost funding for it, which isn't amazing, but that kind of ended that, I guess. But that's one convention that I would have absolutely loved to do. Let's see what else. Can't remember if I asked you if I've done any tattoos for celebrities. Yeah. Well, I don't really know if. I suppose you would. Yeah, I suppose you would. But I was just thinking then whether you'd class him as a celebrity, but yeah, you would. A tattoo. There's a guy I tattoo. He's actually world champion at darts. So I don't know whether anybody's ever heard of this guy, Mike Smith. Yeah, I don't know. No, personally, I wouldn't if I wasn't tattooing him. Because I don't watch darts. I'm not a big darts fan. But yeah, Mike Smith, he actually comes to me maybe a couple of times a year to get tattooed by me. He actually gets he gets like he's starting to get a leg sleeve with different animals on and things on. He just lets us. He kind of lets his kids, pick what he gets as kids kind of go, because apparently they love the safari and they love everything else, and that's probably the only person. I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone else. Oh, unless I am tattooing somebody, and again I don't know that they're celebrity. Although I did tattoo somebody a while back who was he was a rugby player for Saints. I tattooed him and his wife at the time, and everyone in the tattoo shop knew that the guy who the guy was, but again, I don't watch sports. I don't watch sports, so I had no idea who this guy was. Anyway, about I like to get to know my clients, so about halfway through, I'm like, I turn around to his missus, and I'm like, so what do you do for a living? And she says, "Oh, I'm a stay-at-home mum." So I'm like, "Oh, that's great. It's really good. Do you enjoy it?" And she's like, "Yeah." So I turn to him, and me being me and absolutely clueless, I turn around to him and I say, like, "And what do you do, mate?" And he kind of goes, "Oh," and he kind of looks at me a bit confused. And I'm like, "All right, what you do?" And he says, "Oh, I play rugby for Saints." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Apparently he was like one of the most highest paid people in the league or whatever he was. He was apparently a big deal, and I had no idea who the guy was. So yeah, I guess that he never came back to me again. So I guess that's one that's one thing, another celebrity, I guess. I don't know whether he was too happy with me because I just had no idea who the guy was. Thoughts on Ink Master and tattoo fixes. Oh god. I think I kind of respect Ink Master a lot more than I do tattoo fixes or something along those lines. I mean, with tattoo fixes, the one thing that kind of got me, I watched it the first time I watched it. Okay, so first time I watched tattoo fixes, it was kind of like, I was sat there and I thought, oh, new tattoo show. Hopefully this one's like, a lot better than all the other shows that I've seen, which are just so fake, it's unreal. I sat down to watch it, expecting this like a thing that was a bit, people coming in with bad tattoos and they could walk out with great ones and all this kind of stuff. It's like literally 3 seconds into the actual intro of it, it was like, it goes, "We have some of the country's greatest tattoo artists, or some of the country's best tattoo artists." And I sat there thinking, I've never heard of any of these. I have no idea who you had some guy called Jay, there was another guy called Sketch. I had no idea who these people were, never heard of them before in my life. And to be honest, I don't really rate the work. I think out of all of them, Jay was probably the best one. Other than that, I didn't really rate the work, especially when it come to the cover-ups that they were doing and the way that they were fixing things. I thought it was just a really big. I thought they were putting across like the wrong idea of what you could actually cover up, because as good as they looked on the show after they were done, there seemed to be like a lot of, I suppose, like anyone who actually knew anything about it, or any tattoo artist that actually knew anything about it, probably would have looked at it and realised that those tattoos aren't going to stay in like that. And they kind of, it wasn't realistic. That was my problem with it. I think just the fact that they were kind of putting this idea across that it doesn't matter what you had, you could cover it up and it'd be gone, and it was so easy to do because they looked like they did it in like an hour, and it was I think that was my major problem with tattoo fixes. I think Ink Masters, they had some kind of respectable artists on there, I suppose, and some of them were quite good. I thought they kind of played it off as you know, there's some arguments and beef going on between tattoo artists and stuff. That just happens. That happens all the time. But I thought they kind of played it off, and there was a lot going on behind the scenes that, you know, obviously they did stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not a fan of, I suppose, Ink Master or Tattoo Fixers. Definitely not Tattoo Fixers. I'll never watch another one of them shows. But yeah, Ink Masters, yeah, I've seen some really good work coming out of there, and some really good tattoo artists. I think there needs to be, I think if there was a less fake, version of that show, yeah, I'd watch it all day. Yeah, I know I've worked with a few artists who absolutely love that show though. Yeah, I think Dynamo's actually one of them. Yeah, I think Dynamo's actually one of those artists. He really likes that show, and he kind of, I know when I know Dynamo does, and I know Liam does as well. I know they actually really like those shows. But yeah, I think tattoo shows for me, I think they're just too fake for me to watch. I think I like realistic. I know that's probably not like good TV, because it would probably just take, you know, forever to do one tattoo. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Just keep on looking just to make sure that I'm not actually, like, there's no problems or anything's, like, you know, not going to work anymore. Has anybody tattooed ever change your mind after you finish the job? Yeah. Yeah. There was, well, there wasn't so much change the mind. What they actually did was, I suppose they've got what they told me to put on. It's more to do with lettering, to be honest. They've done like they say, like, they'll have, you know, we do a certain type of tattoo on them and things like that, and then, you know, they'll say, I want these words and this exactly like this, and then yeah, it'll be like right at the end they'll go, oh, it doesn't actually sound right, that does it, and, you know, we've had to kind of add a bit, like, or something like that. We've had to, like, add something to the bottom of it to make it sound right, or, you know, to get the point across that they're trying to get across with the tattoo, I guess. But yeah, I've never really had anybody change their mind, because I like to make sure, like, a lot of times before somebody actually gets anything, I want to be sure that this is what they want. Then they're not going to change their mind. You know, yeah. I kind of, especially when they're getting like names and things like that. I always ask about, like, you know, are you sure about this? Like, or are you know, I ask about 50 times whether they're spelling it right, or, you know, anything like. What's your opinion on the second skin stuff? Are you using John Hume? Okay. So the second skin stuff, I personally, I really rate that. Yeah, I actually really like the second skin. Yeah, I actually really like it. I've actually got some here. This stuff. I actually really like that stuff. It's the best one out of all of them. I think it gives me a bit of a peace of mind, once they've left. It kind of takes the healing process out of the hands of the client. Yeah, so they can't really. It stops problems like some people going home and letting the dog lick it. It stops all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the second skin stuff, I really rate it. I think it's a great thing to use, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think if you haven't used it yet, I would highly recommend using it. It's because the way that you use it is you'll kind of put it on, and then you'll take it off in about 4 days, and then you'll kind of you put it on, you'll leave, and usually you get your client to come back the next day, take it off, wipe it down again, and put a new one on. This one, the second time you put it on, that comes, I suppose that kind of comes off in about 4 or 5 days after that, and by the time you take it off, it's healed, it's all gone, it's all done. God, all these messages are kind of coming in a bit quick. How's the apprenticeship hunting going? Yeah, pretty good. We've actually had a lot of the I suppose people applying for it and things like that, which is great. I suppose a lot of them I wouldn't consider, I suppose, tattoo worthy, if that makes sense. Not to sound bad or like I'm criticising anyone's work. It just wasn't up to my standard, and I've got quite a high standard for when it comes to an apprenticeship. I want to see I suppose myself when I was looking for apprenticeship in them. So I think that's what it is. But I think it's been going good, the apprenticeship on. Favourite piece you have done, if you can pick one now. One of my 3 favourite pieces of work I've done. I would say I actually did a piece. It was like a Youngblood piece. That was really good. I properly enjoyed that one. No, I don't know whether you can see this. I don't know. But yeah, that was. I actually did that one. That one was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed that one. I think that is probably one of my favourite pieces. I think another one was the one that I did at Blackpool Tattoo Convention, which was the Frankenstein one, with a nice big F on the side of his face. I think, do you know what? I think what it was and the reason why. I think that my favourite ones is probably more because it was, I think it's like they kind of give me free rein and just let me do whatever I want. Yeah, I think that's. I don't know about the third actually. I'm not that one's probably a hard one. Yeah. Evan, yeah, I think you'd really like the second skin stuff. Yeah, I think next time you come to me and get tattooed, I'll definitely use it on you. I just started learning to tattoo on fake skin. I'd love to get some feedback on my first work. Where can I send them to you? Okay, Dan, I usually, in most of the videos, in most of my videos anyway, I'm not too sure how far back they go, but in some of my some of my videos, there's actually a link to a Discord server. I've got my own Discord server where, you know, people from the channel can go and, you know, build a bit of a community and talk and stuff like that. There's actually a part on that where people actually do send in some of the work, and you know, we can talk about it and the way it kind of. But yeah, I'd love to see it, man. Like, yeah, send it over. Have a look on one of my videos. I suppose whenever you get some spare time, it'll be down in the description. And yeah, definitely send over some of your work, man. I'd love to see it. I always like to see some other people's work, and yeah, I mean, the way I see it is, you say on here you've just learned, or you just started learning tattoo. Even though you might have started learning, I might still learn something from you that I never thought about. So yeah, definitely, I'd love to actually see your work and get some probably get some feedback myself from you as well. So yeah, man. So how many chicken nuggets will you have to consume to completely fall out the bathroom? I don't know, man. I mean, you know, considering my I suppose my dietary choices, I don't think I'd say one, man. And which prison did you get those face tattoos from? I mean, I don't know many many gangs where the symbol is a rose. You know, so if there is one, I mean, I'll join, bro. Because I'm actually gonna. I've actually been in talks with an artist around our way. That's hopefully I can get in and you know, do a bit of a guest spot in his shop. So hopefully I'll be able to actually tattoo you quite soon, to be honest. Evan, yeah, pop in anytime. You know, you're always welcome, even if it's just for a cuppa and just to say hi. You know, you're always welcome. It'll be nice to see you both. I'm 42 chicken nuggets. Hey man, yeah, just stick to the 41, bro. 42. That's kind of next level, man. You know, I don't even know what to say to that. Just yeah, I'm actually quite happy about how this stream's gone. It's a lot better than I thought it would be. And you know, I think so far I'm not even the best part of it. The whole that whole 42 nuggets thing was, you know, that's great, man. I mean, it's pretty safe to say that nobody in the chat's actually ever gonna eat 42 nuggets again. You know? Yeah, he already does. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Dan, I'm pretty much on Discord near enough every day. I always check it. Um, and yeah, I kind of make sure that I'm always checking people's work and things like that because I like to be able to get back to people near enough instantly. Even with some of the videos on YouTube, I like to message back quite soon. Just purely for the fact that I want people to kind of get the most out of this channel. And the Discord and things like that. So yeah, fire over anything you've got, man. I'm always down for that. It'd be nice to actually speak to you, man. Where's the part of the body where it's the most painful to get tattooed? See, that's a hard one. So I see this is where I think men and women differ, massively differ. So me and a couple of artists all think this. We've all noticed like a bit of a thing with men and women. Women will get tattooed on the ribs all day, without any problems, no nothing. They just sit there quite comfortably on the phones, and then you get guys who will sit there and near enough scream. So yeah, it'll be kind of one of them kind of things where like you'll get somebody who looks roided out and stuff like that, but tattoo his ribs and he turns into a little girl, So, but you've got like hey Philippa, you've got like it'll be like with the women, they tend to have a lot of problems with the legs, whereas it's like a complete role reversal. So it'll be kind of like guys will sit there and get the legs tattooed again, same as women with the ribs. You'll sit there, get tattooed, absolutely fine. But an overwhelming majority of women have problems with the legs and the calves and things like that. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. Women seem to just sit there for the most painful places and be absolutely fine, whereas men seem to see Philip and I was inside the leg is vile. Yeah, see, it's just. I don't know what it is, but you tattoo a guy in the same place and he sit there absolutely fine. But then, like I say, whereas my ribs really hurt, like bad. It was next level pain, and yeah, you get like women who are like these little dainty things who are just they look like you could, if you flick them, they'd snap in half, and they'll sit there and like say on the phone and just getting bored during a rib tattoo, and it just blows my mind. Like, so I don't really know. As for painful places to get tattooed, I suppose it depends. Depends on you. Yeah, I suppose every person's got their own different thing. So no, I stopped doing colour. I actually stopped doing colour a long time ago, just purely for the fact that it's not what I wanted to do. I think I've kind of, once I got that reputation for just doing black and grey, I think that was it. I think I just kind of didn't really want to do colour anymore. I can do it, I just don't. So, Yeah, in a thigh. It's one place I haven't actually got done yet. I've got me I've got me thigh done. I've got kind of just above the knee done. But yeah, in a thigh, I'll be. I think that's kind of one of them places where it'll hurt no matter who you are. I don't think there's like a way to actually. I don't think there's a way to make that even sound nice. Yeah, I think with as well with black and grey, I think it stands the test of time a lot better. I think colour. Um, I think a lot of the colour tattoos that I've got anyway, the colours tend to fade within like a really short space of time. And I think they don't really. They, yeah, I think it's just that for me. It's just that aspect. I think it's more of a fading thing because I think with colour it's like I had there was one that I got, especially blue, blue and yellow. Blue and yellow are absolutely horrible to I suppose stand the test of time. I think I had a blue rose on my wrist, and it lasted a couple of years, and then all the blue was gone. So now it's actually red now. So yeah, it didn't last long at all. And yeah, I think depending on the colour as well. I've actually used to work with an artist called Grant, who's like really good at colour, and yeah, he I got him to there was a piece that I'd done on my hand, and I had it done on my hand, I suppose, back when I was apprentice and things like that. And he Grant went over it for me, and he did kind of like there used to be an artist that I really liked the work of, but the guy was from like I think the guy was from Spain, and he used to do these skulls that were like they'd go from like a red, and then as it went down to the bottom, it'd fade like really smoothly into this like yellowy colour, like a really bright yellow. And I showed this to Grant, and I was like, yeah, I want something like that. That's kind of cool. This was like back when I even, thought colour was a good idea for my skin. And I don't know, yeah, I kind of got it done. Yes, but he kind of did that, and now the yellow is near enough non-existent. I don't know whether you can see that, but yeah, the yellows doesn't exist anymore. It's just so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'm actually thinking about getting laser now, just to all of the colour tattoos and just starting again in black and grey. How old were you when you made your first tattoo? The first time I actually did a tattoo, I was about 16. I think I was about 16. Yeah, I think I started quite young in the industry. Yeah, I did. I can't even remember what. I think the first proper tattoo I did, I did that when I was about 17, 18. I think I may have been 18 actually. And it was a upside down cross done on the guy that taught me. He wanted like an upside down cross with like ADTR around it, or like, yeah, like at each one of the points, and it was for like a band that he was like into for like 5 minutes. So yeah, he got that done. But it's one of those things that I still stand by now. It was actually quite solid. It was probably even till now, it's probably some of the best lines I ever did. So yeah, I don't know how I ever did that, like, because it seemed to like my progression of lines was, it just seemed to be great and up here, and then just peak, and like that was the peak. It kind of dropped off and kind of made its way back to that. So yeah, I don't know what the hell I was doing during my apprenticeship. It just seemed like a bit of a, I don't know. Yeah. I don't. I think for everyone, it's kind of like during your entire apprenticeship, I don't think you actually know what the hell you're doing. I think you're just getting told, right, you're doing a tattoo now, and then you go from there. But yeah, I think I was about 17. I think the first time I actually picked up a tattoo machine, I was about 16, 17, something like that. Yeah. And then it was just downhill from there. After that, there was no good things coming from that. It was just, now I scar people for a living, so. Oh, well, I say scar them. I suppose that's what a tattoo is now, and that's what a tattoo is. But yeah, I colour people's skin for a living now. Hey man, how's it going? So, real quick, while I've got, I suppose, some people here, if I actually did another live stream, I suppose if I could get like other artists involved, and do kind of like a bit of a joint live stream with another artist, then I suppose would people be actually interested in seeing something like that? Because I think it's all well and good kind of getting my perspective on a lot of stuff, and my opinions and things like that. But I suppose would it be better if it was multiple people's opinions, if that makes sense? Yeah, it's just something I want to kind of run by everyone and see what they all think, really. Oh man, yeah, I remember this. So yeah, your work was actually insane, man. It was just so good. Yeah, yeah. I thought like that was by far some of the best work I'd seen on somebody that I'd never actually had an apprenticeship or anything like that just yet, or never even really tattooed anybody. Some of the cleanest work I've ever seen, man. So yeah, I'd highly recommend you keep going with that. And I know you've actually got yourself into a place now, which is absolutely brilliant. I think yeah, you're gonna kill it in this industry, man. I think you're really gonna do well. So yeah, congratulations on the new shop, man. Yes, I do know your opinion. Hey, no problem, man, no problem. So you'll have to pop in again one day. It'd be nice to actually see you again and see how you're doing. Have a nice little catch up. Well, I think for the I suppose the next live stream, I've actually messaged another artist. He actually he was in one of the yeah, see, I think podcasting. I think like that was like a bit of a, I suppose an option, especially one that was crossed my mind. I suppose a podcast was actually an idea that's crossed my mind. I suppose the problem. I suppose my mind when it comes to podcasting is I don't really know how I'd make that work or how I would do it. I don't really know too much about podcasting, to be honest. I don't really listen to that many of them, or watch that many of them. I don't really. I'll be honest with you, I still have no idea what a podcast properly is. It just seems like a bit of a talk show. So I'm guessing that's what it is. It just seems to be on the internet. That's the only difference. So, but I mean, like I say, I'd be up for literally doing anything that you guys want to see. I don't really want to kind of just do stuff just because I enjoy it. I want to kind of do it because that's what people want to see. I don't just I suppose I'm not just doing it for me, if that makes sense. So yeah, a podcast would definitely be on the cards if I could kind of figure out the dynamics of it and how it'd work. But yeah, I'm actually in talks with a guy who was on one of the old videos. He's actually got a channel that I don't know whether you've seen it. It was the Q&A for tattoo artists kind of thing, and his name was Reese, and he's a really good artist, absolute top guy. I think I've got a lot of respect for Reese and a lot of respect for his opinions. So I actually want to talk to him about doing a bit of a joint live, and getting his opinion as well as mine. Yeah. See, I think I think that's what Heaven. I think that's why another reason why I want to get Reese on. Is because he is an extremely funny guy, and he does tend to have a lot of stories about tattoo, and even ones that kind of completely blow mine out of the water. So yeah, I think he'd be a good person to have on. Oh well, there you go. Yeah, apparently I'm podcasting now. Yeah. So there you go. Just shows just how clueless I am, people. I'm not see, thing is, I'm not that great with technology. I'm really not. I'm not that great with technology. It took all me, all of my mental power just to get this going. It's not and even then, it's not something that's like rocket science or anything. It's just. No, it is to me. That's the problem. So sorting out a live stream where I get multiple artists in, I don't know. I don't even know how that's going to work. I'd have to get somebody to show me how to do it, and kind of hold me hand through it and go, "Come on, I'll show you how to do it." Just basically do it for me, and I think that's how it'd all work. I don't think I'm all that good with technology. If I could do life without technology, I'd do it. I'd do that. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose with stuff like that. If I set up the camera in the shop and stuff, obviously if from some of the podcasts I've seen before, they kind of, I suppose each person has their own camera, if that makes sense. They all have their own camera, and then you have like a bit of a wide angle shot that kind of gets everybody in, so you can get people's opinions and stuff. And yeah, I'd be up for doing that. I suppose it's just something that from what I've seen, I'd probably need. I'd probably need more cameras and everything else to set up. That'd make it a bit more appealing to the eye. Because I think, with me just sitting here on one camera, it's a lot easier. I suppose with a group of people, it kind of involves a lot more than what I've got, and I don't think I'm really prepared with what you'd need for that. Yeah, yeah. Although again for the channel, I wouldn't say it's something that is off the cards. I'd definitely be up for doing it. If there's a possibility in the future of ever doing that kind of thing, yeah, I'm up for it. I'm up for anything. Like I say, I'm up for anything that makes the channel better for you guys and basically like makes it more of an entertaining thing and I suppose what you want to see, really. Whatever kind of, because I know like a lot of these channels, I suppose they do a lot of stuff that's it's just them talking, and they just kind of go off on whatever they want to do. They talk about whatever they want to talk about, which doesn't always interest everyone. And I suppose I want to kind of capture that little bit in the market, if that makes sense, and do something that everyone wants to see or everyone wants to know, and have those talks that people want to know about, not just what I want to talk about. And I suppose it helps me being quite brutally honest and things like that about a lot of stuff. I suppose that helps a lot because, like I say, I'd rather give you the truth about a lot of stuff or the honest answers to these questions. No, thank you very much, man. I mean, to be fair, right, I wasn't expecting anybody to even watch this. I think I said this before. I wasn't expecting anybody to even watch this. I was expecting like maybe one viewer for like 2 seconds. But I don't know. I'd definitely not say this was easy. I suppose I'm at the point now with this where I'm still learning. I'm still learning a hell of a lot about stuff. Like I say, I'd like to get it to the point where it's easier than doing tattooing, and it's just everything just kind of falls in place. But I don't see that side yet. Any decision on opening up another studio? No, I can't really see myself ever opening up a second shop. Although, like I say never. So I think for me, I just enjoy simple things in life. I don't like to overcomplicate things, because I think if I do, then life stops being fun at that point. I think it stops being enjoyable, and it becomes more. I think it becomes more of a chore. I think life becomes a bit more of a chore at that point. I think once you start opening up other businesses and things like that, and you start kind of having your finger in every pie, I think it kind of overcomplicates things, and I think it can you can kind of become. I suppose I can very easily become addicted to doing that, if that makes sense. And I used to be years ago. I used to be kind of addicted to doing that kind of thing, and I like to keep things simple. I think that's all it is. I think it's just a case of I don't like to become addicted to work and trying to make the next bit of money that tides me. I like to kind of breeze through life, be happy, you know, and I think that's all it's about for me. I don't think I'd ever open up another shop. I think if I ever did anything else, I think it'd be more along the lines of doing a. I think I'd probably end up just working for other people, or working in someone else's shop, or doing. I think next year I want to do a lot of guest spots and maybe a lot of conventions more than anything else, because I enjoy those things. I enjoy that. I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy, you know, I love the travelling and the experience of it all, and the experience of meeting other people and having different conversations with people that I'd never get the chance to meet in any other context. And yeah, I think that's more what's on the cards for me. I don't think I'd ever go and open up another shop, though, you know. No, thank you very much, Adam. Yeah, I think it's just like simple. I like simple. I like things to be less complicated. I think that's what everyone's, you know, that's what everyone's after, really. I think no one likes a complicated life. I think for me it's just that's what it is. I think it's the least complicated route through life, and just be happy. Yeah, I think so. That's probably what's on the card for me. Not another shop, you know. No, I couldn't do another shop. I mean, you know, half the time I don't even want the one I've got, just because it's I think it's a bit more of a pain, you know, and it's a bit of a headache sometimes, you know, than anything else. But I think that's why I would just carry on with the conventions and stuff like that. I think just because of, I think that's what would make me more happy than anything, is doing conventions and just doing guest spots. I've met some absolutely amazing people, doing guest spots and things like that, up and down the country, and you know, I think there's been some absolutely unreal people I've met who you know, have some absolutely amazing outlooks on life, you know. And it's kind of changed my outlook a lot of the time as well. It's changed, you know, I suppose me for the better. Having those conversations with those people and some of the customers and things like that I've met over the years. So yeah, I think that's more what's on the cards for me now. You know, whenever the chat goes kind of like quiet and stuff, I always feel like turning around to just like blowing up the chat in a major argument of just saying, like, you know, what do you think of pineapple on pizza? You know what I mean? It always seems to just start an argument anywhere you want to go. It's like we had this kind of thing in the tattoo shop the other day, and I think nobody really knew what to say about it. Everyone was kind of like going off at each other, saying like, you're crazy, you like pineapple on pizza and stuff. So yeah, I think that's the easiest way to make any live chat go absolutely nuts, you know. Yeah, Ninja, definitely come and chat, man. Come say hi. Like I say, we'll go for a coffee and have a catch up and stuff like that, man. It'll be good to see you. See, there you go. Yeah, pineapple has no right being anywhere near pizza. Yeah, see, I've got to say, I'm definitely the same as that. I think the exact same. I'm waiting for the first person to disagree with you now and just be like, no. Yeah. Hi Paul, how's it going, bro? Yeah, I'm not a pineapple on pizza guy. I don't think I don't think that's something anyone with a sane mind would do. I think you have to be kind of some level of messed up, you know, to actually to think that was a combination. I've had it. I've tried it. I have tried it, and I can't do it. Well, like I say, that's see, this kind of proves my point of like whenever the chat goes right, nice and quiet, all you have to do is say pineapple on pizza. What do you think? All of a sudden, that's it. Conversation is just erupting. Yeah, sometimes full on arguments go. So real quick, while I have people in the in the chat and in the video and stuff like that, what kind of stuff would you like to see on the channel? I know we've already said about podcasts and stuff like that, but I suppose I more want to see what feedback there is. I mean, sometimes I have had like I have had like other I suppose video ideas. People have sent me, you know, I want to, this would be good to see on the channel, but they've been like the only person to actually say that. So I think that's where the problem lies, because I don't just want to make that one video for one person, because it kind of it doesn't create something that everyone's gonna want to see, and it kind of, at that point, it just kind of makes the channel a bit pointless to everybody. Don't get me wrong, I'll probably get round to when the subscriber count's a bit bigger, and you know, I end up with like a lot more people watching the videos. Doing like those kind of videos would be great, because obviously bigger subscriber follow, bigger following, the people are actually going to watch those videos. But I think I just want more like of a bit of a feedback and stuff, on the kind of things that would help people. And I think when I see that a lot of people are asking for the same thing, I think that's when I'll kind of start making those videos, you know. Yeah, see, we've just had another one. Pineapple on pizza is life. I even live stream a tattoo. Yeah, see, so I've actually in terms of live stream and an actual tattoo, I suppose that'd work, but I don't fully know how that'd work on I suppose on YouTube, you know, without me transporting the whole rig and, you know, the camera, the mic, and you know, the laptop, everything else. I'd kind of have to transport everything. So I suppose the only place I'd actually be able to do that kind of stuff would be more of a I suppose like Instagram or other social media or like that, I guess. But yeah, I think live streaming an actual tattoo. Yeah, I think judging from, you know, my the channels past of doing, you know, I suppose like a speed run. in a time lapse of like me doing a tattoo or something like that. I think that the views on them were never really that high, so I weren't too sure whether I should ever, I suppose, do something like that, because it just seemed like, you know, not everyone was really that interested in them. And I think a lot of people were more interested in, you know, seeing some of the tutorials, like the lettering tutorials, which is why I've kind of like I've set up everything the way I've set it up. So like with the, for, just in case, I say, let's say for example people wanted like now, like wanted me to kind of give an example of what I meant in one of the videos. I've kind of set this kind of thing up so that I can actually, you know, draw on the iPad and give it a bit of an example. So yeah, I suppose stuff like that takes off more, which is why I've done the live stream the way I have, and I've set it out the way I have, you know. Your thoughts on palm tattoos? Okay, so palm tattoos. My thoughts on palm tattoos. I mean, I suppose I don't really have any negative thoughts towards them. Although I would say palm tattoos, they tend to come out really easily, like really easily. So because obviously you're picking things up and you're handling things, and your hands are rubbing against your pockets when you put your hand in your pocket to get your phone, things like that. It's, yeah, they tend to drop out during the healing. A lot of it tends to drop out during the healing process. So I suppose unless you, and a lot of tattoo artists actually don't give free touch-ups on palm tattoos, which is completely understandable, purely for the fact that, you know, a lot of people would be coming in a lot, so it wouldn't, unless they charged, you know, unreal amounts of money, then it wouldn't really be worth just charging the once and giving free touch-ups. So it'd be, I think it makes more sense if you don't mind going back and getting them touched up, because they will, yeah, it does tend to drop out, or you do need a few passes to get it to stay in. I think once they are tattooed and everything is healed and it's all fine, I do find that you notice the lines on palms again, because you're constantly doing this, and the area is it's constantly creasing and moving and stretching and things like that. You tend to find the lines get really thick quite quickly as well, and they don't really stay the way they were put in, you know. So yeah, I think the palm tattoos, they are a bit of they're one of those kind of tattoos that you have to really think about before going and getting one, you know, because they can, I suppose, they can look a lot different from when you get them. They look great when they're first done. After a few weeks, they tend to not look as cool as they do on Instagram and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, I think, I mean, I've got plans to get my palms done. I'm kind of planning at some point to get both palms done, and then the bits on the fingers and stuff like that in between the knuckles. I want to kind of get them done at some point, but you know, the only reason I haven't had it done was purely for the fact that I don't know what to get. It's the same like with my chest and things like that. I don't fully know what to get. I've kind of got an idea, I just haven't found the artist to do it, or you know, things like that. Yeah, so it's that kind of thing really. I just haven't found exactly what I want on my palms. And I think that's all it is. Yeah, I agree with that. Aftercare for palm tattoos is the key. Yeah, I totally agree, man. Totally agree. I think the only thing is, I think with palm tattoos and especially anything on the hands, I think it's a lot. It's really hard to actually. It's really hard to carry on with for a lot of people, depending on obviously the jobs and things like that. I think for aftercare, I think it can tend to, be a bit hard to constantly look after them. Purely, you've got people there who, I don't know, let's say they work in a job where they're constantly using hands and getting, things like that. They tend to be quite hard to actually do your aftercare routine or anything of that matter, really. I think that's all it boils down to. But I do totally agree with that. I think, like, aftercare and stuff like that, it majorly matters. I think it doesn't matter where on the hands you get. I think even on the back, anything like that, aftercare is above all else. Yeah, see, Japanese on palms is like perfect for it because it's meant to be bold. Japanese works so well with bold lines, and I think it works really well. So I'd suggest if you were thinking about going palm tattoos, I'd go full Japanese. Go with like a peony or like a chrysanthemum or something like that. And, stuff like that works really well. Yeah, I think if you have got like a bit of nerve damage or anything like that in the hands, I think like getting tattooed on the hands is gonna kind of really, I think that's really gonna affect you a lot more than it would somebody who hasn't. Um, I think you'd have to really be able to cope with, um, I suppose, like a lot of pain at that point, just to be able to get something that you're not even too sure whether it's going to stay in. It's a lot of pain to sit through, especially with your palms and your hands. They have a lot of nerve endings in them, so yeah, you're going to feel that a lot more than anywhere else. Yeah. 14 round shader line. 14 round shaders, man. Yeah, that is a power line right there. That thing's about as thick as my head. And it's, yeah, I think definitely. I think it's yeah, definitely. I think once I've kind of come up with how I want it to look, and the I've got a solid idea in my head of how I want them to look. Yeah, definitely, man. I'll get you to do them. You left one more. What are we talking about? Your left wrist. Yeah, yeah, that one. Yeah, that was like next level damage to your arm. That one. I think with stuff like that, nerve damage and stuff. Yeah, it can either be a blessing when it comes to getting tattooed in that area, or it can be can be an absolute nightmare. We've had people in there who've getting tattooed and stuff, and they didn't. They've had something happen to them, or something that's resulted in nerve damage and things like that. And there's been some people who totally can't feel a thing after it in that one area, and they can get tattooed there for forever if need be. They just won't feel a thing. But then, we've had other people where it's extremely sensitive, and it's just next level pain, to the point where they genuinely can't sit there. Because you tend to find, especially where there's nerve damage as well, that say if you're tattooing their arm and their arm's got severe nerve damage, you tend to find there's their arm can twitch or jump or something like that, which can be obviously quite hard when you're trying to tattoo a moving target. But I mean, it's not impossible. It's just it's just not easy, I suppose, and definitely not easy for them. Which I've got a lot of sympathy for people like that, especially when it's left them with whatever happened has left scars and things like that they want covering up. And I suppose it's just a bit of peace of mind for them that they could get it potentially covered up one day. But the fact that it can be quite painful because of the nerve damage, I think it can kind of it can change up it can change it up a bit for them. I suppose that's just the way it is. Neville Longbottom's arm in Harry Potter. Yeah, it was, yeah. Yeah, so I'm also as well. I was talking about this before. I suppose before I came on to the live and did anything live, I was actually talking about doing like another channel as well, and not kind of keeping I suppose the other channel it wouldn't just be tattooing, or wouldn't really be tattoo related. It'd be more to do with I suppose anything and everything that just kind of interests me, or like I guess vlogs and things like that. It'd just be more that kind of stuff, because I suppose like when you're in the industry of tattooing, it becomes very easy to actually make tattooing your literally everything in life. It can kind of take over a bit. And I think it'd be just kind of nice for me to actually just do something else, I guess, with it, and give me something to focus on other than tattooing as well. Although I will be concentrating on this channel, I want to kind of do something else as well. So yeah, I think that's another thing for the future. I just thought I'd actually mention that. I just thought it was worth mentioning anyway. But yeah, I don't know how many people had actually even watched that one. To be fair, to be honest, I'm still a bit surprised at how many people actually watch this channel. I think it's still a bit of a. I never thought I'd actually ever be at a point where where YouTube kind of took off for me, and I had a bit of a following on it. I didn't think it'd actually take off at all, but seeing that now, I thought well, I want to kind of see what else I could see if I could ever branch out to more people over other things. Yeah, see, I suppose like vlogs and podcasts and stuff that would be good to do. I think it's. Yeah, I think it just kind of depends. I suppose what kind of takes my interest at the time with that kind of stuff. I've got nearly 5k on subs now, and like I say, that happened really quick, though. It's only slowed down, I suppose, over the past year where I haven't uploaded anything. But that happened really quick. The sub count just seemed to go through the roof really quick. It was around the time of the the lettering video that's what seemed to do that. And yeah, I think after that it just kind of took off a little bit more than I was expecting, to be honest. Your opinion on single needle tattoos? Single needle tattoos, I think you don't find many of them. I don't think you find many single needle ones. I think I think at the size that a single needle tattoo would have to be. So I think with single needle tattoos, I think the more, or single needles, the more for like a specialist kind of thing. Like they wouldn't be used for actually doing like a huge piece. The more the more used for things along the lines of like some dot work or whatever. It depends on how I suppose how fine lined the actual image is around it, that you'd actually use that for whatever. I mean, like I say, a lot of artists just use that for shading or stippling or things like that, which isn't really a done thing with a single needle. So it's usually done with like a 3 or something like that, like a really tight 3 needle that they seem to work a lot better than ones, because like say, obviously if you're doing it with a 1, your dots are going to be so small that it's going to take you a really long time to actually do anything. So yeah, I suppose with stuff like that, single needle tattoos, I think like the very few and far between. They're not really something that you'd see that often, but when you do, I think it's I don't think they're gonna I don't think they stand the test of time at all. I think a lot of them they tend to drop out really quick, or tend to then I think the ink tends to blur out underneath the skin or blotch out underneath the skin like a lot quicker as well, because obviously a lot of artists with a single needle won't know how deep to go, because it's that fine of a needle that you don't really feel it go into the skin, so you can't really account for a lot of stuff, and I think that's what that is more than anything. Yeah, see, it's like Ninja just said. Yeah, they smudge over a few years. Personally, I don't really think it's worth it. I think there's that many complications with single needle tattoos and stuff. I really don't think it's worth it. I think they're just kind of a bit of a waste of time. And I think especially now as well, they're a bit of a fad and a bit of a thing that a lot of people, I don't know. I think a lot of people find cool for a certain period of time. But yeah, I don't think they stand the test of time very well. Yeah. Yeah, see, Ninja's saying exactly the same thing as me. They kind of, you get blowouts underneath the skin purely for, like say, a lot of artists don't really know how deep to go under the skin with a needle, with a single needle, because they're so fine and they're so small, and you don't really feel them on the skin at all. You just, I suppose, unless you know what you're looking at and you know what you're looking for, it's very hard to gauge the depth with one of those needles. So it's easy. It's so easily done with the blowout underneath the skin or something like that. And at the time, you can look great, and then a few moments later, it'll just look like a big blotch underneath the skin or a bruise or something like that. Yeah. I'm surprised I've actually still got this many people in watching. To be fair, I didn't think I'd still be going at this point. I thought I'd be done within the hour, and this would kind of be it for the lives and stuff. But no, I'm quite happy with how this has actually turned out, and I'm quite happy that people are still watching, people are still tuning in, and people seem to be interacting in the chat and stuff like that. I think it's absolutely great. I think there'll definitely be another one. I think there'll definitely be another live at some point. Probably, like say, probably in the next 2 weeks. I want to kind of keep it to that, because no, thank you very much, man. Yeah, I want to try anyway, because I think like my intent is to, like I say, with the lives and stuff like that, is when I'm doing a video, a lot of people can't really ask questions properly, because it has to be in the comments, so I think when I'm doing live, or when I'm going live, it's like I said before, I've got my iPad kind of hooked up and stuff like that, and I can always kind of flip over to the iPad and do that kind of thing, and I can show what I meant on the screen, and things like that, which I'm hoping I can help a few more people. They don't have to kind of wait as long to really get a reply back. I always tend to try and reply back about any questions in the comments, but I never feel like I actually explain myself as well, if that makes sense. I never feel like I actually explain it too well, because I find it hard sometimes to find the words to use to answer those questions, if that makes sense. But I feel like with the lives, instead of actually doing it in the comments and asking about whatever they want, whatever they didn't understand in the comments, they could always ask in the live, and I can actually show I can go ahead and just give an example kind of thing. Yeah, Gina, I like I say, you'll have to find space first. you've got a lot of tattoos and very little space left. No, thank you, man. I think I think that's the main goal of this channel, is to actually help people get to where they want to be. And I think even though I'm not exactly where I want to be in the industry at the moment, I think that at that point, whatever insight I have, I think I can always kind of pass that on to somebody else. And maybe at that point, kind of, we can all kind of grow together and, get to where we all want to be, man. No, I think I am, like, I'm absolutely made up. You've got into a shop. You totally deserved it, man. I think you're gonna be, when it comes down to it. I think in the tattoo industry and you and stuff like that, I think I think you're gonna be something special in the industry, man. I think you're really gonna go far with this. Thank you very much, Paul. Cheers, Jones. Uh, I think Blackpool was good. I think just purely for the fact that, like, I won my first award there. Um, I think that's probably my favourite convention so far. But I think, I think favourite one to go to. I was actually saying before at the start of the live, I would have really loved to have done London. There's now another one. It's called London Tattoo Show or something like that. It's called now. But before that one was even a thing, it was actually there was another one put on by somebody else, and it was called the London Tattoo Convention, and it was held on the Tobacco Docks. It was absolutely unreal. It was great. Used to have near enough, like, I think there must have been, like, God, there must have been about 800 artists, 900 artists, maybe even 1,000, something like that. There was a lot of people there, and it was just unreal. It was great. That was one of those conventions where if you were doing it, if you were tattooing at London Tattoo Convention, you were a somebody. You'd made it in the industry. You were up at the top. You were like tattoo royalty, And I think that was one I would have loved to have done. That was. I always used to say back then when it was still going. I always used to say that was like my goal, was to do that. I think once, I had it in my head that once I did London Tattoo Convention, that was it. I was happy. I was happy with where I was, and I think it would have been absolutely amazing to do that. But yeah, that was one of my favourite conventions, the London one. I think there's another good one, the Tattoo Tea Party. Tattoo Tea Party is in Manchester, I want to say. I think it's in Manchester anyway. But yeah, Manchester's the Tattoo Tea Party is a really good one. That's one of the biggest in the country. That one was really good. I've been to that a few times. I think again you get kind of like a bit of a diverse. It's a good mix of artists that you get. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Manchester. Yeah, so yeah. There's that many conventions now. I always forget which ones there is. I actually never. I don't even. There's meant to be one next week. There's one next week that's actually coming up, and it's the first of its kind. It's being held in Shrewsbury Prison. I'll just move this over here. It's actually being held in Shrewsbury Prison, which should be absolutely unreal. I should be going to that one. I've kind of made plans to go to that one, so I'll probably go to that. I actually got asked to do that one. I actually got asked to do that prison. It's called Locked Up. And it's meant to be absolutely unreal. Let me try and find it. See, these are all Brussels and things like that. So, see, I'm trying to find the Shrewsbury Prison one, but yeah, that one is meant to be absolutely unreal. From what I've heard, it's like I say, it's the first one. They've got a lot going on. Apparently, they've got like axe throwing going on there, which is like, see, Locked Up. It's meant to be quite a big deal. because like I said, it's the first of its kind to ever be held in a tattoo prison, to ever be held in a prison. Sorry, and it's gonna be something else. Oh God, there we go. Actually, but yeah, if you can get to it, I would definitely recommend going. There it is, right there. Yeah, it's actually meant to be quite a big deal. You've got a fair few artists, but the cool thing is with this one is like the tattoo stations are actually in the cells of the prison, which is I don't think you can get more badass than that. Like, so yeah, I think if you've got a spare day this weekend, the weekend coming, I think definitely get yourself down there. I will be. I think it'll be great. But yeah, that was one of the ones on the cards for me this year. But I as a general rule, I think I always try not to do the first of anything. It's like I got asked to do Blackpool Tattoo Convention back when it was back when it first started, the first one that they ever did. I actually got asked to do that one. I think they're up to like the 7th or 8th one now. I got asked to do that one, but just because of I don't know how big it's gonna go, I don't know how good it's gonna be, and I don't want to really pay out, I don't really want to pay out the fees and the 300, 350, 400 pound to do the first one of its to do the first one of that specific tattoo convention, and nothing happens, nobody turns up to it, or there's half the artists don't turn up, or it's just no good, the entertainment's bad, or the public can't get to it and things like that. And I'm always very wary of the first one, because over the years I've seen that many tattoo conventions come and go, because they've done exactly that. They've started with the first one and they've done a couple after that, and then it's just never really took off, so they just stopped doing them altogether. I think that's what it is more than anything. So I think that's why I never did this one. I think, but I wouldn't mind doing it potentially next year, maybe. I'd probably look at doing it next year, and we'll see how it goes. I guess I want to see how it all works first. No, it'll be the last one, and it'll have been the only one of its kind to ever happen, and I'll have missed it. Like, I've just not done it. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's one of the ones I want to do. I think maybe tea parties on the cards for next year, potentially. Probably Blackpool again. I might do Blackpool again. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a few next year, potentially with band together with a few artists and kind of make a bit of a team of artists that'll all take up a bit of a strip, and we all know each other, and we can all go and hang out after it and stuff. I really want to do something like that again. I suppose when we did Blackpool and stuff, it was great because we kind of met other artists, and we ended up hanging around with them after it, and we ended up we'd go for a drink, and it was great. We all used to hang out and stuff, and that was brilliant. I suppose I want to do that kind of thing again, but this time with a bit of a bigger group, and see how it goes, I guess. But just out of interest, I suppose, like now, has anybody actually in the chat? Has anybody ever actually been to a convention, and are they planning on going to any more? I suppose if you're a tattoo artist, you're planning on doing any. I suppose that it always interests me to find out which ones people are doing. Yeah, at this point, I'm almost tempted to pull out the pineapple on pizza thing again. $9. Oh, I think I might be calling it a day on the live soon. I think. I think it's been a good 2 hours, and it's been fun. It's been very different. I've enjoyed doing it. Hey man, how's it going? First would be Buckley. Oh, I haven't actually seen that one. Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually seen a tattoo convention in Buckley, or I don't think I've actually been anyway. Let me search for that. I'll take a quick look at that actually, because, like I say, I might take a trip down to that and meet up with you, man. It'll be good to actually see you there as well. There you go, we've got it here. So is this the one you mean, man? Buckley Tattoo Convention? Obviously it won't be the one that you're doing. But yeah, it looks like, to be fair, it looks like they've got a fair bit going at free entry too. See, that should bring in quite a fair bit in terms of, you know, I suppose footfall and traffic past you. The fact that it's free entry, I think that's always a plus in terms of, you know, I suppose making sure that you've got enough of the public interested. You know, because sometimes I think when you know, when you put these okay. Yeah, see, I think the when you put conventions on and you've done like I think they've charged on the door. Sometimes some people can like charge a fair bit, and you can charge too much. I think like some people just aren't really used to that, or can't afford it, and they want to take, you know, the whole family, and they can't afford the family to go. I think sometimes that's a bit of a problem for you know, a lot of conventions, and that's probably why a lot of them don't really don't really get that much footfall from the public, you know. But yeah, I think that one should be a good one, man. It looks like it's been a pretty big convention in the past. So yeah, that should be quite good. Yes, you can ask a question. But yeah, I think that would be like a really good one for your first one. I think, like I say, you want to be able to have like a like say a big enough footfall, because obviously, like with it being your first one and stuff, I think the problem with first conventions and stuff, a lot of them won't really tend to have a lot of people won't really tend to have like a big enough following that they'll get people coming to them for the first one, in terms of, you know, because obviously you might travel to that convention, so you usually get like a you can tend to take the clients with you, and that it tends to be a bit easier that way. But you know, when you get like footfall going past and you've got enough flash on the table, you get something there, man. You get something, and I think it's a good enough thing that you've got it for free, because, like I say, it'll end up being a good one for you. You get a lot more you get more of a following on social media for that as well. The guy said it was a pigeon. I don't even know whether you mean this one, or I think if you mean this one's a rose. It's Paul Terry rose. Yeah, it's done by Paul Terry. He does like a bit of a neo-traditional kind of rose, if you get what I mean. He does a lot of them. I think I was actually one of the first to actually get it done, and then all of a sudden, like he just kind of started doing them all over the place. So now I actually, if anything, I want it gone, man. Like I don't really want it there anymore. Because he just does them on everyone now, and I think once they start doing that, it's the same like somebody I know got one just on the thumb, and after they had that done, he started doing them everywhere on the thumbs as well. It's like a bit of a bit of a weird, like very simplified rosebud kind of thing. Yeah, I don't like pigeons that much, man. I like them, I just don't like them that much. Stuff on Saturday, that mean. Yeah, I don't like pigeons that much, or things like that. I've never actually had anybody think it was a bird, though. I think that's a first, but it seems like, you got a few people there thinking it's the same thing. I guess it's another reason for me to get rid of it, really, Alright guys, I think I'm going to call it a night for this one. I think it's been absolutely great. It's, if anything, it's kind of absolutely exceeded my expectations for the first live. I'm more than like happy with how this has turned out, and how many comments, and how many comments in the chats and stuff like that. I think it's been absolutely brilliant. I think the amount of feedback I've got was brilliant as well. I'm extremely grateful for everyone that's actually joined in, and they've watched, and I think it's been absolutely brilliant. But yeah, thank you very much for everyone that's joined in, that's commented, that's done everything. I'm hoping to do another one, I suppose, at some point. Maybe about 2 weeks time. I'll probably do it on the same day. I may possibly. I'm looking to do them every 2 weeks. So hopefully I can kind of do one every 2 weeks on a Monday, around about the same time. So if you are free, hopefully I can. We'll get more people on the next one. And yeah, let's see if we can make it like a bit of a regular thing on the channel. But no, thank you very much, guys. Hopefully I'll catch you in the next one, and I'll see you soon. Yeah, pleasure, bud. See you later, man.